On this episode of What the Net, D23 is happening at the moment, and so I'm going to break down with you guys the main news you need to know about the new Disney streaming service, Disney Plus. Let's break that down. Hello and welcome to What the Net, where I break down things on the internet that I want to talk about and you want to hear about. My name's Jake Mellor, and thanks for being here. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button down below, turn on notifications, it'll be much appreciated. So if you're not already aware, D23 is kind of like Comic-Con for Disney. They showcase all the things that's going on in the world at Disney, including their movies, TV shows, theme parks, and everything Disney in general. And with Disney recently purchasing Fox, as well as now owning Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, and all the Disney stuff that they already owned, it's one that you want to check out. And so this week's going to be a little bit different on What the Net. I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 things that have come out of Disney's streaming show, Disney Plus, and breaking down, I guess, what I find the most interesting. I'm going to be leaving out the smaller things, or the things that we already knew that they're kind of growing upon. So yes, they've got Monsters Inc. show coming out, they've got a Forky show coming out, plus a bunch of other things they've announced like casting and things like that. But I'm just going to be breaking it down top 5 style. I've also got another video on my channel. It's all about the Disney Streaming Plus service and what's actually going to be on there and kind of a broader understanding. Check that out after you've watched this video. So let's start with number 5, The Mandalorian. This is really going to be Disney Plus's centerpiece. It's going to be launching with the channel, and I guess it's kind of what they're hoping is going to bring in the biggest audience. We don't really know much about the show, but at D23 we managed to get a trailer, which is now dropped online, so go check it out if you can. And it looks good. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars, but I'm not an avid fan. I'll watch the movies, that's really it. And so from what the trailer shows, imagine kind of like Star Wars but in the Wild Wild West. The Mandalorian, if you don't know, is a bounty hunter, so that kind of fits with the whole tone. I also like that it seems like they're going for that big scale budget, like they would with their big films, and they're not kind of cheapening it in any way. And I know it's only a first trailer, so I could be completely wrong, but just from looking at it, it looks like they've kept the core of the Star Wars while still bringing us something new. So I'm excited for the second trailer, and I'm really more excited for this show now. Next at number 4, if you were around in the mid-90s, early 2000s, you probably would have come home from school and popped on Lizzie McGuire. But now you're an adult, and you've got to deal with adult things. And so they've announced a new show, which is Lizzie McGuire, but as an adult, dealing with adult problems, or as adult as you can get for a Disney channel. Again, like pretty much all the stuff on this, we don't know a lot of information. It's more new shows that they've dropped. But all I can say is I love Lizzie McGuire when I was a kid, and I really hope they bring the dad back. He was a lot of goofy fun, and I quite enjoyed him. Now at number 3, we have The Muppets. They're coming back with a Disney streaming show, and they're selling it as a star-studded cast. I don't know if that means there's going to be cameos throughout, or if each episode's going to focus around a character with a famous person in the role, and from there they're going to go on wacky adventures. I really don't know. And I really don't know how I feel about this either. I really loved the Muppets movies when I was a kid, Muppets in Space to be a highlight, and the reason I was kind of drawn to the Muppet shows, and I didn't really get drawn to the other puppet shows like Sesame Street, I found that Sesame Street kind of was Sesame Street, and it was involved in its own little world, and it didn't really expand on anything or give you any depth of stories. Whereas I found with the Muppets, especially say Muppets in Space, they gave you a great story that just so happened to have Muppets in it. And so I'm hoping that they redo that, and I'm hoping it wasn't something pitched in a meeting like, so we've got a new show revolving around the Muppets. Yeah, that sounds interesting. What's it about? It's about the Muppets. No, but what's the story about? The Muppets. Oh, that's all you've got. Make it. I don't want that. I want there to be an actual story and hopefully have an overall plot arc, but I might be asking too much. Let me know down below in the comments if I'm asking too much for a Muppet show. Now, this next one at number 2, it's probably my most anticipated thing to talk about. However, it's not number 1 on the list, because I think at number 1 on the list is what people got the biggest pop for. And so at number 2, we have 3 new Marvel streaming shows. We have Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and my favorite, She-Hulk. So this brings forward the biggest question to me is, will these characters actually be included in the proper MCU? Because yes, we've got other shows that are happening, but all those characters have been in the MCU movies. Falcon, Winter Soldier, Vision, Wanda, Loki, Hawkeye, all characters that have played crucial parts in the MCU. And so with these new characters coming in, I'm curious to see if Kevin Feige's true to his word and they're going to actually play parts in the Marvel movies, or if it's going to be like the Netflix shows where they might cross over with a Hawkeye or something on the TV shows, but not necessarily play a bigger role in the whole MCU. I'm also most excited for She-Hulk because A, I love She-Hulk, but also with the Hulk at this stage, Marvel's allowed to make a Hulk movie, they're just not allowed to distribute it. That goes to Universal. And so I just assumed She-Hulk was the same, because she fits into the Hulk family, I guess. But maybe this isn't the case, and maybe they can use She-Hulk, and not the real Hulk, and that's why they're using She-Hulk. Could I say She-Hulk again? She-Hulk. So I'm really excited for these. But let's get on to the biggest one. And at number 1, I'm actually quite surprised. I genuinely thought when I heard these rumors that he was going to be maybe a cameo in one of the movies, or maybe he was going to make an appearance on The Mandalorian. I don't really know. But it seems that he's getting his own TV show, and we're talking Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I'm sure that the writers have a better plan in mind, but if it was me and what I'd like to see, and it is all subjective, but I'm assuming it's going to take place after the events of Revenge of the Sith and well before A New Hope, because he's an old man in A New Hope, and Ewan McGregor is not an old man yet. And so I'd really like to see how Obi-Wan Kenobi deals with the events after Revenge of the Sith and living in a new world that he might not have directly caused it, but he was definitely there and played a part. And so I'm curious to see that. But anyway, guys, that's my top 5 biggest, newest news that I thought came out of Disney's streaming service, Disney Plus, at D23. But let me know down below in the comments, what were you most excited to hear about? And what are you most excited to see on the channel? And speaking of the channel, when it does drop in November, are you going to jump on that train straight away and get the streaming service? Because with Netflix and Stan and Hulu and Prime and a lot more if you're living in the States, there's a lot of services going around right now. And so I guess that would be my overall question to let me know in the comments is, are you going to get the service when it drops? Or are you going to wait for most of these shows to come out in a year or two and wait for there to be a bit more of a catalogue to actually be on the streaming show? Let me know down below. And whilst you're down there, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like, all that stuff. It'd be much appreciated. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And whatever your passion, as always, work hard and be lucky.